Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and especially Tito. It's always a pleasure to hear you speak, Tito. This was a number 5 speech. It's the hump speech, halfway through the manual. And so for your hump speech, use the title Jump. Fantastic title. Just by the title, we're wondering, okay, now what is he going to be jumping from to whatever? You arranged the area very well because, as wasn't apparent at the time, but was apparent later, you were going to use the cart as a prop. So that was excellent. You arranged it first before making eye contact. And for the title of the speech being Jump, I expected the first word to be jump. But the first word you used was fear. And that was effective because that got our attention even more. Because, oh boy, he's going to be jumping out of something pretty serious. And of course, jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. What a wonderful phrase that you used a number of times. You asked me to look, in addition to the body gestures, which is the purpose of the speech, you also asked me to look for vocal variety. So I'll try to comment about both of those. I got writer's cramp trying to note all of the different ways in which you used your body to emphasize this speech. And you first chose a topic that was very well suited for using your body. And you took even more advantage of doing that. I thought it was particularly effective when you were talking about shaking nerves and, you know, what's this I feel? You know, you were just totally captured us with that. And just some of the other things, the use of the prop, and then, you know, and then finally jumping out. Just totally threw your body into a speech like this, much more than I can remember anybody doing for a number 5 speech. And I like the way that you didn't have T-Rex hands, which is one of my problems. You kind of do this. You know, when you had big gestures, they were big gestures, and that's what you want from something like this. So especially when, you know, I was a god out there, you know, I was a god out there. You know, gods are big, you know, not like this. So your use of humor throughout was just fantastic, and I was totally riveted. I think most of us were totally riveted. I really have, it's hard to come up with some suggestions. I have a couple that really almost don't relate to this. The first is, after you arranged the room, you came out front, and then you started right in. I would have given just a little more pause. I don't know if you thought that you were pausing, but a little more pause even, just to, you know, capture our energy. Again, very subtle point. There were a couple of places where you after all the body gestures, you came to a resting point, and that's something that you want to do. I would recommend that you have a more centered resting point. There were a couple of times when your resting point was a little off-center. I think you can see it on the video. And just one thing about the writing, I like the way that you came back to this why do this thing, and you gave a lot of great answers. Your last one I thought could have been a little bit stronger. I'm not quite sure about that. But my favorite part of the whole speech was just your command of the room. When you speak, we all listen. So thank you, and I really look forward to the next Toastmaster.